In the heart of a remote forest, nestled deep within the embrace of towering trees and the shadows of ancient secrets, there lay a place known to locals as Whispering Woods. It was a place steeped in folklore and whispered tales of the supernatural. The trees, their branches twisted and gnarled like the bony fingers of an old witch, seemed to hold memories of the past. In the wake of their encounter with the ghostly woman, Sarah, Mike, and Emily felt a newfound sense of connection to the forest and its mysterious inhabitants. They returned to Whispering Woods several times, this time with a deep reverence for the land and its history. As they explored the forest further, they learned more about its legends and its secrets. They spoke with locals who shared tales of the supernatural and the unexplained, each story adding a layer of mystique to the Whispering Woods. It became clear that the forest held more than just the memory of one lost soul. It was a repository of countless stories, some eerie and others heartwarming. One evening, as they gathered around a campfire near the cabin they had visited before, they heard the soft, melodic strains of a haunting tune carried on the wind. The ethereal music seemed to draw them deeper into the forest. Guided by the enchanting melody, they followed it through the dense trees until they came upon a clearing. In the center of the clearing stood an ancient, gnarled oak tree, its branches reaching out like skeletal arms. Hanging from its branches were luminous orbs that danced and flickered like fireflies. The orbs emitted the same haunting melody they had followed. Sarah whispered, "It's as if the tree is alive with music." Mike added, "This is unlike anything we've seen before. It's as if the forest is revealing itself to us." Emily couldn't help but feel a sense of awe. Perhaps these orbs are the spirits of the forest, sharing their stories with us. As they stood in the clearing, mesmerized by the ethereal display, the orbs began to change color, shifting from soft blues and greens to fiery reds and vibrant purples. The music evolved too, from a mournful lament to a joyful celebratory tune. Without warning, a soft, disembodied voice filled the air. In that moment, the orbs descended from the branches, encircling the three friends. As they touched the orbs, they were transported into a series of vivid visions. In the first vision, they saw the forest in its infancy, as Native American tribes lived harmoniously among the trees, respecting the land and its spirits. They witnessed rituals and ceremonies meant to honor the natural world. In the second vision, they observed early European settlers who arrived seeking riches but quickly found themselves humbled by the forest's power. They saw the cabin they had visited, witnessing the tragic story of the ghostly woman who had once lived there, her love story ending in heartbreak. The third vision showed them the forest in more recent times, as it became a sanctuary for those seeking solace and tranquility, a place where stories of the past were shared and preserved. When the visions faded, the orbs returned to their places on the tree branches. The soft voice spoke once more. "Whispering Woods has entrusted you with its history and secrets. You're its guardians now, tasked with sharing its stories with the world." Touched by the experience, Sarah, Mike, and Emily knew they had been given a unique gift. They spent countless hours documenting the history and folklore of Whispering Woods, collecting stories from locals, and sharing their findings with the world through blogs, books, and documentaries. Over time, the forest revealed even more wonders to them. They encountered friendly forest spirits who guided them to hidden waterfalls, enchanted glades, and sacred groves. They witnessed the dance of fireflies that lit up the night like a starry sky. And occasionally, they encountered other lost souls, like the ghostly woman they had helped, each with their own tales to tell. As the years passed, the friends became renowned for their work, drawing people from all over the world to Whispering Woods. The forest became a place of pilgrimage for those seeking a connection to nature and the supernatural. It was no longer just a place of fear and mystery. It was a place of wonder and enlightenment. But through it all, Sarah, Mike, and Emily never forgot their encounter with the ghostly woman. They believed that her spirit, along with the countless others that dwelled within the forest, continued to watch over them, guiding them in their mission to share the stories of Whispering Woods. And so, Whispering Woods, once a place of fear and uncertainty, became a place of reverence and respect, where the past and present coexisted in harmony, and where the spirits of the forest whispered their tales to anyone willing to listen. One chilly October evening, 3 adventurous friends, Sarah, Mike, and Emily, decided to explore the legendary Whispering Woods. Armed with flashlights and a shared thrill for the unknown, they ventured into the forest as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting eerie silhouettes upon the trees. As they delved deeper into the woods, the air grew colder, and the rustling leaves seemed to murmur ancient secrets. Mike, the most skeptical of the group, couldn't help but feel a growing unease. "Come on, guys, it's just an old forest with creepy stories. There's nothing to be afraid of," he said, trying to sound brave. Sarah chuckled nervously, her flashlight casting long shadows. "Maybe, but it does feel like we're being watched." Emily, the most superstitious of the trio, nodded in agreement. "I heard tales of a ghostly figure that roams these woods, seeking something it lost in life." They continued deeper into the forest, their footsteps soft on the damp ground. The trees stood close together, their branches intertwining overhead, creating a natural canopy that blocked out the moonlight. The only sounds were the whispering of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. As they walked, Sarah suddenly stopped in her tracks, her flashlight trembling in her hand. "Did you hear that?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Mike and Emily strained their ears, listening intently. Through the stillness of the night, they heard faint, mournful wails, like the distant cries of a lost soul. Emily shivered. "That doesn't sound like any animal I've ever heard. Maybe there's some truth to those ghost stories." Mike rolled his eyes, but even he couldn't deny the eerie atmosphere that hung heavy in the air. "It's probably just the wind, or some animal." They pressed on, guided by the beams of their flashlights. Soon they stumbled upon an ancient, dilapidated cabin hidden among the trees. It was covered in moss and vines, its windows shattered and its door ajar. Sarah's curiosity got the best of her, and she pushed the creaking door open further. Inside, the cabin was a time capsule of decay, with rotting furniture and faded wallpaper. As they explored the decrepit rooms, they noticed peculiar marks on the walls, as if someone had been counting the days, months, and years. Emily pointed to one of the marks, her voice trembling. "Look at this. It's like someone was trapped here, marking the passage of time." Just as they began to feel the weight of the cabin's ominous history, a chilling breeze swept through the room, extinguishing their flashlights. Panic set in as darkness enveloped them. In the inky blackness, they heard the haunting whispers of a mournful voice, as if it emanated from the very walls themselves. "Help me! Find it!" Terror surged through their veins, and they fumbled for their flashlights, desperately trying to restore the feeble light. As the beams pierced the darkness once more, they saw a shadowy figure standing in the corner of the room, its face hidden beneath a tattered hood. With quivering voices, they asked, "Who are you?" The figure, its voice trembling with sadness, replied, "I am a lost soul, bound to this place by unfinished business. I seek what was taken from me." The ghostly figure began to materialize, revealing a sorrowful face. It was a woman with pale, translucent skin and eyes that held an eternity of longing. Sarah, her heart pounding, asked, "What do you seek? How can we help you?" The ghostly woman pointed to the marks on the wall. "I was trapped here, counting the days until I could find it, but I passed away before I could complete my task. I need you to find my lost locket, hidden somewhere in this cabin." The friends agreed to help, and together they scoured the cabin for the missing locket. After what felt like an eternity, Emily discovered a small, tarnished locket hidden beneath a loose floorboard. With trembling hands, she handed it to the ghostly woman. As the locket was returned to its rightful owner, the cabin seemed to brighten and the air grew warmer. The ghostly woman smiled, her eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you, kind souls. I can finally rest in peace." with that, the ghostly figure faded away, leaving behind a sense of peace that had long eluded Whispering Woods. The three friends exited the cabin, their hearts lighter but forever changed by their encounter with the supernatural. They left Whispering Woods that night, their footsteps accompanied by the gentle whispers of the forest. Though they had ventured into the heart of darkness, they had also brought closure to a restless spirit, proving that even in the deepest shadows, there could be light and redemption. As the years passed, Sarah, Mike, and Emily continued to be the stewards of Whispering Woods, sharing its rich history and the stories of the forest's enigmatic inhabitants with the world. Their dedication had turned the once-forgotten forest into a place of pilgrimage for those seeking a connection to the supernatural. However, the forest had one last, chilling secret to reveal. It was a cold and misty autumn evening when Sarah received an intriguing email from a historian named Dr. Robert Thornton. He claimed to have uncovered a forgotten legend about Whispering Woods, one that had eluded even the most dedicated local storytellers. Dr. Thornton was eager to meet with them and share his discovery, believing it would add a new layer of mystery to their work. Excited by the prospect of unearthing another hidden tale, the trio agreed to meet Dr. Thornton at the cabin in Whispering Woods. As they arrived at the cabin, they found Dr. Thornton waiting there, his weathered face etched with excitement. "Thank you for coming," he greeted them warmly. "I've been researching the history of this forest for years, and I've stumbled upon a legend that's rarely spoken of. It concerns a ghostly apparition that's said to appear only once in a generation during a specific celestial event." Intrigued, they settled around the cabin's old wooden table, and Dr. Thornton began to recount the legend. Legend has it that deep within these woods, there exists a ghostly figure known as the Eternal Wraith. This spirit is said to have been a forest guardian in life, a protector of Whispering Woods and all its secrets. However, in death, it has taken on a far more ominous role. The Eternal Wraith only appears on the night of a rare celestial event, the alignment of 3 blood moons, which happens once every century. During this event, the Wraith emerges from the depths of the forest to seek vengeance against those it deems unworthy or disrespectful of its sacred domain. It is said to be a harbinger of doom, a relentless entity that will stop at nothing to protect the secrets of Whispering Woods. As the crimson moon eventually waned, they packed their equipment and made their way back to the cabin in somber reflection. The encounter with the Eternal Wraith had left an indelible mark on their souls, and they knew that Whispering Woods held more secrets than they could ever fathom. Days turned into weeks, and the forest seemed to settle back into its serene, enigmatic state. The trio continued their work, sharing the legend of the Eternal Wraith and the importance of respecting the sanctity of Whispering Woods. Their story gained worldwide attention, drawing more visitors to the forest, all eager to experience its mystique and reverence its history.